everyone. Welcome to this special look at a series that, well, when you see what it is, it may surprise you a little bit, but then again, it may not. The series I'm talking about is this one, Care Bears. And now you probably ask yourself, why would I want to do something on the Care Bears? Well, I grew up on the Care Bears. Who didn't? And to be quite honest, I thought it's about time someone, in a way, gave their own opinion about it. Now, I know some people may not like the Care Bears, but you know what? Maybe after this, you might see it differently. Alright, everybody. Now, you might ask yourself, who are the Care Bears? Where did they come from? Well, the Care Bears were created in 1982 by American Greetings Association. Now, in 1983, American Greetings, along with Atkinson Films, introduced the Care Bears to television with the first animated special called A Land Without Feelings. Now, it was through this special that we were introduced to the Care Bears' first official villain, Professor Coldheart. Now, Professor Coldheart would return in 1984 in the second special called The Care Bears Battle the Freeze Machine. And then, of course, Professor Coldheart would go on to be the main villain in the Dick animation version of the Care Bears. Now, also, and that would be in 1985. Now, in 1995 as well, the Care Bears were also released into an animated film by Nelvana Animation. And again, the movie came out a few months before the series. So there was no way for Nelvana Animation to call up Dig Animation and say, okay, you need to change this about the characters. There was no time. So anyway, the movie came out in 1985 and went on to be one of the biggest grossing animated films of the year, not just for the United States, but also for Canada, and in Canada's terms is still one of the longest running, or one of the best selling animated films they've had in theaters in a long time. Then the following year, Nelvana Animation brought out another movie called The Care Bears Movie 2, which not only served as a sequel to the first one, but introduced an entirely different storyline. What kind of storyline? Well, how about the fact that just like the movie before it, that came out the year before, and just like the specials that came out before the first movie, the second movie served somewhat as a pilot to the series' second season, when Nelvana Animation took over in 1986-87. So in other words, the second movie was sort of like a revamp of the franchise. And it introduced us to two new characters, Trueheart and Nobleheart. Trueheart, of course, was the main leader, the main founder of the Care Bears family, or the Care Bears side of the Care Bear family. Well, Nobleheart was like the father and founder, if you will, and leader of the Care Bear cousins side of the Care Bear family. Because Trueheart, of course, was a bear, and Nobleheart was a horse. Now, after the movie came out, Nelvana Animation, again, like I said, used that as sort of a pilot to when they would take over the series following September. The reason Nelvana Animation took over, in my opinion, just my opinion, is because one of the problems that I think a lot of viewers had, especially if you were a young kid, was you didn't know which Care Bears and Care Bear cousins were boys, and you didn't know which ones were girls. In other words, you didn't know who was the males, and you didn't know who were the females. So Nirvana Animation decided that just like with the movies, excuse me, just like with the movies, they were going to establish who were the boys and who were the girls. I mean, if you look at the first two movies, you could, in a way, tell who's the boys and who's the girls, if you look closely. And then, of course, in the third movie, you could tell this as well. Now, the third movie is what really allowed Nirvana Animation to say, look, you know, this is who is these characters are the girls, these characters are the boys. Now, what I mean is, one of the main Care Bears and Care Bear cousin characters that was really put into this conversation, if you will, or was one of the reasons that Dig Animation lost the rights to do the series, or sold the rights, or the reason Nirvana Animation bought the rights, I guess you could say, to do the animated version of the to do the animated television series, was because of one reason. Well, this may not be the one reason, but still, it's one of the reasons. Like I said, one of the main Care Bear and Care Bear cousin characters, Swift-Heart Rabbit, nobody really knew if Swift-Heart was a girl or a boy. No one really knew this. Because when you watched Swift-Heart in the Dig Animation version of Care Bears, which of course at the time, if you watched any Dig Animation cartoon at that time, it was very anime-inspired animation that they did. But again, if you watched Swift-Heart in that animated version, in the Dig Animation version, Swift-Heart clearly has a male's voice, and is basically being done. Basically, what Dig Animation did with Swift-Heart is said Swift-Heart is a boy, because not only did they get a male person to do Swift-Heart's voice, but I guess it was because Swift-Heart is blue, Swift-Heart's a rabbit, and Swift-Heart's got a heart with these wings on it. So you think, oh, that means fast, that means race, Swift-Heart's a boy. Not the case, because when you look at the movies, the first two movies closely, and then you take a look at the third movie, which was the last movie they did until the Oopsie Does It film a few years ago. The last film, which was released in 1987, called Adventures in Wonderland, when the White Rabbit comes in there and asks, where can she be? And then asks the Care Bears and Care Bear cousins that he accidentally bumped into if they'd seen his niece, one Swift-Heart Rabbit, she pops up saying, somebody call? You know. And then later on, after the mirror is broken, after the mirror gets broken, after Alice and the Care Bears and some of the Care Bear cousins go through it, you can see this concerned look on her face that tells you that Swift-Heart is definitely female. Now, you might say that's a little bit ridiculous to say, oh, that's one of the reasons they wanted to change it. Well, it might seem ridiculous, but you know what? If Nirvana Animation, who is the main animation studio when it comes to the Care Bears, says Swift-Heart's a girl, then Swift-Heart's a girl. Okay? Now, when Nirvana Animation took over the series after the second movie, of course, one of the things they had to do was establish who were the boys and who were the girls. Now, during the first season, everybody was designed the same way. They just looked the same. As far as the Care Bears go, they looked the same. You couldn't really identify who was who. Well, if you listen to the voices, you could identify who was who, and that was thanks to Nirvana Animation. They could identify who was who. Now, of course, there is the character Good Luck Bear in the episode The Long Lost Care Bears, but that's apparently a boy character, because even nowadays you got to get female actresses sometimes to do a male voice for a male character. So Good Luck Bear is an exception, because Good Luck Bear, even in the Dig Animation, this is one thing Dig Animation did that was right. Good Luck Bear was definitely established as a boy, and Nirvana Animation recognized that. Now, another way that Nirvana Animation established the fact that the boy character, there were boy Care Bear and Care Bear cousins, and girl Care Bear and Care Bear cousins, was in the second season. I think the show's third or fourth season, around that. The second season that Nirvana Animation did, which again, like I said, was the third or fourth season, overall of the series, Nirvana Animation decided to take 4 different characters and give them completely different makeovers, if you will, or character tweaks and designs. And I will get into that when I come back.